Streaming. Got it. Okay. I think we are live. It looks like we've been live for 9 seconds. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Lots to do today. I see Mary and Kim are here already. Awesome. So if you guys have questions, be sure and pop them in the chat and we'll get to them in just a few minutes. I want to just do a little jive here and wait for a few people to arrive. Hi, T-Bar. Glad you're here. Wonderful. Okay. I think I have everything set for us to go. So are you guys all excited about election tomorrow? It's like, what else can we think about? We've been waiting for this for so long, and now it's finally almost here. Crazy, crazy. Elena, welcome. Harry's mom, Linda, great to see you. Harry's mom, last time we talked about your tinnitus, and I put a link in my newsletter for an article from my favorite homeopath about tinnitus. So I'm just wondering, did you get that? Did it help? Let me know. Richard, Rachel, welcome, welcome. Awesome. Gang is all here. We're slowly picking up steam. T-Barb, you voted, now waiting. Yeah, I really have a good feeling about this. So hopefully next time we talk, we will be in a whole different place and the world will be getting back into a better place. It's time and we're ready. So yeah, that's what we need. Did anybody hear about the meteorite that hit the guy's house in California and burned it up? I just happened to scroll across that yesterday and it was just so freaky because, you know, Metatron and other people have talked about the things that are coming for us. And that's just not one I was even thinking about, but how freaky is that? You know, it's like a 1 in a trillion chance or something that it's actually going to hit your house and burn it up. Just wild. Hi, Joanne, welcome. Gary, welcome. Awesome. So you guys, it's 7:04. So I guess we'll go 1 more minute, just kind of shucking and jiving here and waiting for your questions to show up. Doing well, Joanne. Thank you. Just a little rush tonight. It was 2 minutes till showtime and I hadn't even put my lipstick on yet. And I don't want to do that in front of you guys. That just somehow doesn't appeal to me. You don't need to see that. So yeah, it just delayed me a little bit. I had things to do earlier today and I was just running behind. But I'm so glad you're all here. It's exciting to see you. Danita, welcome. Harry's mom, you did get the thing about tinnitus. You tried it. Oh, you haven't tried it yet. Okay. If they haven't worked for you before, it could be you were using too low of a dosage or you didn't take them frequently enough or long enough. There's a lot of variables in there. You know, when I started with homeopathics, I was doing the pretty standard where you do the 30C. That seems to be what all the traditional homeopaths recommend. And I was getting kind of results, but not really great results. And then I studied some more, got some more information and raised my dosages up, or the potencies rather. I rarely take anything below a 200 these days. And for some things it's 1M or 10M. But when something's hitting you like that, that tinnitus is really strong and you're going through a spell of it, you could take it every 15 minutes. Do that for like 4 doses. And if you're not getting any results, then it's not going to work. But if you get any results at all, then you can back it off and maybe take it 3 or 4 times a day until it backs off some more. And then you just space them out. I do that very intuitively, just, you know, because I've done it for so long, but the website I sent you, joettecalabrese.com. Let me just put that in there for anybody in case they're interested. This is for homeopathics. She's got tons of information there that you can learn about them. But, you know, I've just had such wonderful results that I'm constantly recommending them to people. You guys can attest to that. And they're so inexpensive that it's worth a try. You might get some results. Hi, Susan. Elena, you have a couple questions. Okay, well, let's dive into your questions then. Let me find my little pendulum that got lost here. Okay, so for Dr. Elena, what work are you going to be doing with the superstition mountains? Okay, let's start with that one. So for Dr. Elena, what is the work that she is intended to do with the superstition mountains? Way to start us off with a hard one, Elena. Okay, what can you tell us about that? They're saying the first thing is to listen. They have a lot that they want to say. They've been waiting for a long time to have somebody be their voice. There's a lot that they want to share with the world. Okay, and what else? They have got some deep knowledge that is important for us to know right now. And that's why you're being called now, Elena. So it's feeling like you're going to work with them for a little bit. It's like you're going to get connected to them. You're going to get to know each other and find a common energetic frequency where you can communicate fluently with them. So that'll take a little ramping up. And then once you get that, you'll be able to channel, and it's even possible. I'm seeing pictures of books, Elena. So there might be stuff that they want to share that needs to be written in books to share with the world, because, you know, they're ancient. They've been there seeing, feeling, experiencing everything. Is there any connection with ETs? Yeah, I just got that hit in my solar plexus. Yeah, so there's some connection with ETs, and you will be writing and sharing about that. You know, this is information that has been there for eons, and it's now at a time where humanity is ready to start listening to that kind of information, availing themselves of it. So that's part of it that's going to be happening. I bet there's more. Is there anything else you want to comment about the superstition mountains for Elena? They're saying that's enough for now. Just get to know them. Find your common ground where you can fluently get the messages, and then just roll with it from there. They'll reveal what they need to in the appropriate time. But it is a big assignment, and they're counting on you. So if you needed a kind kick in the derriere, that was it. Okay. So what else? You said, what in the world was going on in your third eye? Colors and pain last night. So for Elena, what was happening in her third eye last night? Colors. It's an attunement, Elena. They're getting you ready for this new work that you're going to be doing. Yeah. It's like I'm seeing them almost with surgical instruments, although it's metaphorical because they're not really doing it. It's all energy, but making adjustments, helping you to prepare to step up. You're being asked to step up in a bigger way than you have before. So hold on to your hat, because things are about to get even wilder than they've already been. Harry's mom, have you had any messages on how the eclipse will affect the election? No, but let's ask. So for Harry's mom and everybody else, will the eclipse have any impact on the election? I'm getting this really big nodding head, you know, like a real vehement yes. And they're saying that it's not a coincidence that the two dates are colliding, that it's a very positive omen. And it's almost like we needed that extra dose of really powerful energy to usher us into this new, more uplifting space that we're going to be moving towards, because there's so much darkness, so much. I'm seeing like this mucky stuff like you would find in a swamp, like trying to pull you down. There's so much of that, all that darkness trying to suck the people in and suffocate them. So the eclipse energy, it's going to like help us almost put like jet propulsion under and push everybody up out of it so that we can move forward in more positive ways. So definitely a connection. Let me know if that makes sense and if it helps. Laurel, hi, welcome. Kelly, welcome. Sister of Six, great to see you again. Susan. Okay, you're just talking to Harry's mom. T-Barb. Ask Metatron about earthing, grounding ourselves regularly to the earth with bare feet or skin. You're working in the garden, your back gave out, you lay there and you believe you felt it working. I'm sure you did, yeah. So for T-Barb, Metatron, what can you share with us about earthing? He's saying, yeah, good on you, T-Bar, because you followed your intuition and you did the grounding, the earthing, which was very powerful. And I'm also feeling it was gentle, like Gaia just kind of gently put some energy into your body to help bring you back into a state of balance. So there was nothing harsh, nothing really rough. It was just very smooth and easy, which is what was required in the moment. And it served that dual purpose of giving you that lesson so that that's available to you, and so that you could share it here and remind everybody, especially now, it's important that we remain grounded, we remain in touch and aware with Gaia as she's going through so much. If you're in the Facebook group, the 21-day meditation Facebook group, there's been a lot of conversation there about facilitating Gaia's birthing experience. And there are several who are sending out energy, prayers, and helping her through this very difficult birthing process that she's going through. The benefit to us of them doing that is that presumably it will mitigate some of the damage to the planet that would have happened while she was thrashing around going through her birthing. So it's helping to smooth that out. The damage in some places won't be as bad as it would have been otherwise. Now, there are some that there's just no getting around it. It's going to happen, but it's facilitating. It's also, Gaia is really appreciative of the love and the support, because she was feeling kind of out there on her own and really struggling. So it's our love and support of her as she's loved and supported us forever, which is very important. So that awareness, that coming together right now is something that important that we can all do. So if you feel led to get involved in that, please do. So that's the Facebook group, and it's Metatron's 21-day challenge. I think that's what it's called, something like that. You should be able to find it, and then you can request coming in. It's based on the book, The Path to Hearing, Angels and Guides. So you really need to read the book before you get into the group if you're going to follow along with what's going on, because the people there have read the book, they've gone through the meditation process, the challenge, and they're using all that they've learned. And when I look at this, you guys, I'm just gobsmacked at the brilliance of Metatron getting this going in the timing that it came out, because I was pushed to do that way out of my comfort zone. It wasn't when I planned it to come out, but it needed to come out then so that the people could use it to get up to speed, to be here for Gaia now. Like, all of these dominoes are falling into place. And the book I'm presently working on, the Little Book of Meditations, I just got the hit yesterday, and I can see now how it connects right behind the Path to Hearing, Angels and Guides, because first you had to learn how to do that meditation process, develop your muscles, get into having that fluid connection with your angel team. And then you could go on to this next level of meditation where you could be even more involved. It's helping you as you are going through your shift into fourth dimensional beingness as well. So all these pieces are connected, and we're not even seeing the whole picture yet. There's still more to come, but it's just one thing after another lined up in just perfect divine alignment. So it's quite marvelous. And we would love to have you join us if you feel like you want to support that mission. Harry's mom, you'll give them another try. You have a friend that cured migraines. That's wonderful. Yeah, there's a remedy for everything homeopathically. It's really amazing. It's just a matter of getting the right one. And there are many remedies that will work for a variety of things. So sometimes it's a matter of finding the one that's the right match for you. And that's where the expert homeopaths come in to help you do that. I just do dowsing to find out which is the best one for me. And I also, of course, do a lot of research on that website I gave you, Joette Calabrese. And there's a book that I have that's really wonderful by these doctors in Calcutta who have been curing everything, including cancer, for over 150 years. They have a book on Amazon. It's the Banerjee Protocols. That's Banerji, if you were interested in getting more information. So it's really wonderful. And in that book, they spell out exactly what dosage, what remedy, what combinations, because sometimes it's not just one remedy, it's a combination of remedies. So they've given us this wonderful wealth of information in that book, which is a great guide. And Joette has studied with them, which is how I found out about them. Just scanning through you guys. There's some conversation here that doesn't apply to me. Kim, would the guides have any advice for you regarding your son? How can you help him heal? Also, do they have any advice on life path? Well, we're really doing metaphysical tonight, Kim, but since there aren't that many questions, I'll take it. So for Kim, what advice could you give her regarding her son and helping him to heal? They're saying just love him. Try not to worry, because when you slip into that worry energy, he feels that, and then the two of you feed off of each other, and then it expands the problem. So you want to let go of the worry as much as possible. Call in your angels, lean on them, trust that they actually are working. Also, you want to keep that ear tuned to them, because they will be throwing out breadcrumbs to you of options to help him, because it's not just one thing. It's not like they're going to give you a recipe that's going to fix him for all time, Kim. It's like today, this is the thing that will help. Next week, it'll be something different. So it's going to be you being in a tune with those angels, watching the breadcrumbs, doing the shifting along the way. You don't want to get in there, and what I'm feeling is like, you don't want to overdo the mama bear taking over kind of thing. You just want to gently support and nudge him so that he will be willing to try the things that you bring up to him. Because it feels like there's resistance or maybe a little friction between the two of you, as you can see that these things need to change. He's not ready, or he can't see. So you are in that role, just like the angels are with us, of being supportive, sending the love energy, and allowing him to come to that place of acceptance, because he has to do that for himself. But if you keep pouring the love on him, you get the angels to help you with that, you will make some inroads. And after that, it's up to him. So he has to allow it. He's got to cooperate and participate, if that makes sense. And then for Kim, what can you share with her about her life path? Lift your eyes up and just start moving forward one step at a time, Kim. There's a lot of second guessing going on. There's a lot of doubt. Then that's just ego. Ego's trying to hold you back. You want to feel into your solar plexus. The things that feel really good in your solar plexus, go try them. If they continue to feel good, keep doing them. If they don't, then do some tweaking, change it up. But also keep that ear tuned to your angels, because they will be guiding you as well as helping you with your son. So it all starts there. The most important thing, though, to keep in mind, Kim, is it's always about what feeds your soul, that thing that feels the very best to you. So if you've been making a lot of choices based on obligation or fear, responsibility, you want to step back and take a look at those. Decide whether they're really serving you or not, because when you keep choosing obligation or responsibility, the universe will send you more, because you're creating that karma in the moment by your choices. The universe says, hey, Kim, it looks like you really enjoy all this responsibility. There's a whole bucket load more. So if that's not what you want, then you want to be very mindful about the responsibilities and obligations that you take on. Only the ones you feel good about, not the ones that people try to guilt you into, or that you just feel for some reason you have to. It's not true, you don't. We're in a time now where it's incumbent upon all of us to step up to a higher level of spiritual responsibility, only choosing those things which serve our sole purpose. We don't want to choose against our own best interests. So let me know if that helps. Oh, Elena, you got goosebumps. Okay, great. I'm looking forward to that book on the Superstition Mountains. Now you got to get that one out. Sister of Six, you've been working nonstop with your teaching. You want to explore something outside of teaching that is creative. Suggestions from your guides. Okay, so for Sister of Six, what can you help her with in regards to something creative that's outside of teaching? I'm seeing you out in the great outdoors, sister, and flowers around you. So I don't know if you're into gardening. Maybe that's what it's about. Or maybe it's just you getting out there, moving within nature, allowing it to come in contact, to appreciate it, to be in a state of gratitude. And then when you do that, you will get those inspired ideas about what to do next. Beyond that, it's just like for Kim, it's finding those things that light you up, that feed your soul, and doing them. Now, there are so many avenues you could take in a creative vein. So try the ones that appeal to you first. See if anything just really clicks, feels better than everything else, and then do that for a while. Then it could expand. It probably will, because usually the first thing that we pick up is not the entire answer, but it's one piece of the puzzle. So you keep adding on to that, keep shifting, being aware that your guides are going to bring you more breadcrumbs to help you add on to what you're doing. So it's like you're putting this puzzle together and you're getting one piece at a time. But it's a glorious experience when you lean into it and follow it. So I would encourage you to do that, but get outside, weather permitting, of course. And if it doesn't, maybe you can go to like a planetarium or someplace where you can be around living, breathing plant life, tree life, whatever you can find to be around. It's for you, really getting grounded and connecting with nature right now is going to help open your third eye so that you will have more connection and more understanding of what comes next. So that's pretty exciting. Let us know how that works out. Gary, you're wondering why you can't connect with your spirit guides. You're trying and you need help. Oh, that's an easy one, Gary. It's because your ego keeps telling you that you're making stuff up and you believe it, so you stop. The thing is, when you have an intention to connect with your angels and guides, and you go through your Akashic records, then that's where you are. So what you get, you should believe it's actually from your angels and guides. Take it, run with it. Now, the other thing is that people don't realize that when they meditate, when they connect, that the things they see, they feel, they hear, even, smell and taste, because all of your senses can be engaged. Usually it's just one or two in the beginning because you've got to build up to getting them all. But in the beginning, what you're getting might feel very unreal. It might feel like a daydream. And no, that's okay. It often does. I will get whole pictures that would be like going in a dream. That's how it comes to us. So just accept it, flow with it, write it down. And then if there are symbols that show up, numbers, colors even, look them up, Google them, find out what's behind it, and then put those pieces together. You've got to be a little bit of a detective because they're going to communicate with you metaphorically. They will never tell you what to do. So they'll give you clues with all these metaphorical references. Sometimes if you get colors and you don't know what they're about because that color maybe doesn't mean anything to you, then look at your chakras. It might be talking about one of your chakras, and then you can look into that, see if maybe you're blocked there or if there's something you need to pursue. But that's just a few hints to get you started, Gary. If you're wanting more help, then I highly recommend you get into that Facebook group because that's exactly what we're doing. People who came in there saying the same thing as you, went through the book, did the 21-day meditation challenge, and now they're channeling like mad. It's just phenomenal what's going on there. And by the way, you guys, if you're not on my mailing list, you won't know this, but starting in January, we're going to do a group 21-day challenge. So get into that group, get the book, get ready, because when we do it together for 21 days, it magnifies the benefit. And that's going to set us up to really make huge progress in 2023. Things are going to be shifting wildly between now and then, and we need to be at our best, on our toes, ready to hit the ground running, because a lot is going to be changing. A lot's going to be opening up. It's almost explosive, but in a positive way, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's what I would suggest for you, Gary. KT, you're here. Glad you made it. Harry's mom, you've got dowsing rods. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. And you can do that for animals too, which is really cool, if you want to ask. So when you do it, do them as singular remedies and then experiment with combining them to see if they're more powerful when you combine them. And you might be surprised at what you get, because sometimes it's maybe two remedies that are combined. Sometimes it could be 3 or 4. It just really depends on what it is you're trying to address. So I'm excited to hear about how that goes for you. Susan, regarding the Book of 18 Meditations, will the meditations take you into the records first, or should you say the Akashic prayer? You've only read the first few pages. Okay, well, it's always a good idea to say the prayer if you feel you need to. When I do them, I don't actually go through the mechanism of the prayer because it's just my intention. You know, I might say access the Akashic records. That's my intention. I expect that to be the case. And so they're there. But for all of the work we're doing together, you always want to be in the Akashic records. That way you can trust it. You can know for sure that you are connected to your guides and angels so that you don't have to second guess whether it's ego or not. So that's always a wise thing to do. So it's, you know, a couple minutes extra that you're going to take to do the prayer. But yeah, at least when you start out, you may get to a place where intuitively you don't feel you need it anymore, and that's fine. You honor that. But in the meantime, it's always good to use those tools. And the 18 meditations that are in the book, some of them have a little mini grounding at the beginning. Some of them don't. They just go right into the story and lead you along. So if you're not already fluent in meditation where you can click and you're there, then I would recommend you use whatever your favorite grounding is to go through that breathing and relaxing your body, getting ready to be receptive when you actually listen or read the meditation. So I hope that makes sense. Sister of Six, that's fine. Yeah, that's why we call it Metaphysical Chat, because on the third Saturday, I do all kinds of questions, including personal. So I wanted to keep this one metaphysical, but since we have a small gathering here and there's time, we'll do it. You know, they're my rules. I can break them, right? I'm a rule breaker. So if we get really busy at some point, then I'll, you know, weed away the personal stuff. But so far that hasn't been the case. So we'll just enjoy ourselves and go through whatever your questions are. T-Barb, the path to hearing angels and guides, you put in a join request. Yes, that's it. Awesome. Yeah, and it's a real fast read, so you'll get through it quickly. The reason it's important to read the book is because it took you through my journey of 21 days, and it's teaching you what you might expect, what to do about it when you feel blocked, and just leading you through so that you will have more confidence and see that it's not just you that experiences those blocks. I had them too. There were days I would show up and I would get bupkis. And when I asked Metatron about it, it's like, hey, the purpose of this challenge is for you to commit to showing up and being willing to sit for your 15 minutes that you promised to do in silence if that's what happens. And it doesn't happen that often because once you get into the rhythm of it, you will start getting more information. So it's just priming the pump and it's taking you by the hand, leading you into channeling in that 21 days, which is marvelous. And then once you start actually doing your 21 days after you read the book and you know your path, then each of those 21 days in the group, Metatron gave us yet another message. So once you've done it and you're doing your challenge, if you just search for day 1, day 2, whatever, you will see the message that went with the corresponding day. Now, of course, if you do this with us in January, then we'll be doing it all together and those messages will be fresh and they'll be at the top. But if you're wanting to get started sooner, which is perfectly fine, you can do it now and you can do it again in January, because why wait, right? So if you do that, then be sure that you look for the messages each day, because Metatron put together these amazing, uplifting, encouraging messages that were perfect for everybody in the group, which is still boggles my mind how that's able to be the case, but it's angel magic. It just is. So yeah, we look forward to having you join us. So after we finish, you guys, I'll go to the Facebook group and let you all in. KT, what you said about being a warrior of Metatron was very powerful. Does he have any inspiration to share? Okay, so for KT, what can you share with her about being a warrior? He's saying, of course, you're my warrior. You signed up for this lifetimes ago. You've been part of this planning for generations. Now is that time that you've planned for. Now is the time that you will stand up. You will put on your angel armor. Yes, you will. It's beautiful. So for this process, the psychic battle that we're going through, we have all been given angel armor to support us. And of course, all the angels are standing with us on top of that. And it's just a matter of standing in faith and trust, moving forward one step at a time, doing what you feel led to do, because each of us has a unique purpose in this process, because we're all wired differently. We're all unique. Nobody else can bring to this journey what you bring to it. And that's why it's so important that you be there. And this thing about Metatron's warriors, this just came up in the past week. I hadn't heard that before, hadn't heard it phrased that way, but it made so much sense. Yeah, we are all working with Metatron side by side to facilitate. What's the word I'm looking for? To facilitate this process that as we're moving towards the prophecy of Earthtopia, because that's what we're all moving towards. There's a lot of gunk we've got to go through in the meanwhile, but we'll be together supporting one another, and the angels will be there supporting us as well. So yeah, let that just sink in for a while, that you are Metatron's warrior. Think about what that means to you. Maybe even meditate about it and see what kind of insight you get, because again, that's going to be different for everybody. It might help you to better understand what your role might be in this great battle that we're coming into. And remember, it's a psychic battle. It's not about hand-to-hand combat or anything like that. It's all using the faith, the trust, the spiritual muscles that we've been developing over the last year or more, since Metatron's been talking about all this, and even goes back before that, but he's really ramped it up in the last year. So I hope that makes sense. KT, will crystal grids benefit your highest good in your household? Okay, so for KT, will crystal grids benefit her household for the highest good of all, especially KT? Yes, they will, but they want you to know that's not the most important thing. That's just an extra tool that you've added on. So you already have what you need. And it feels like, KT, the bigger message is about leaning on your own wisdom, your own abilities, your faith, and your trust. These tools are nice add-ons. They support you, but they're not the be all end all. So I hope that makes sense. That doesn't mean you don't use them, of course. If you feel led to use them, you should. But there's more than that. There's more to you than that. And that's what Metatron wants you to know. Brittany, when you feel like you can't be around somebody else's energy, like it's too much for you, can that mean they're from a different planet or like an alien? Can be a lot of things. It could also be somebody you had a difficult past life with and you're just repelled by them. But if that's the case, then of course you want to resolve that. So for Brittany, what can you tell her about these individuals who show up that she has this reaction to, this negative reaction? Are they aliens? Getting to know on aliens. Are they from a different planet than she is? No, it's not that. Because you've interacted with people from other planets for many lifetimes. If you're here, Brittany, you are a starseed. You originated somewhere else. You've just been having multiple lifetimes on Earth. So now you're involved in this whole Earth karma thing. But you are. So it's not as if you're going to be repelled just because they're from another planet, because you are too. But I think it's past life. So can you shed any more light on that? What about these people who she has this reaction to? Should she continue to interact with them? No, it's okay to move away from them. In fact, they're even saying if you want to put a protective bubble around yourself, if you have to be around them, that would be a wise thing to do, so that that energy doesn't come in and impinge upon your energy, bringing you down or, causing you any stress. You just don't have to deal with it. Put on your protective bubble. And if you don't have one, then you can use the zip up process. I don't know if you're familiar with that. If you're not, just send me an email and I'll get you the link for it. But it's about when you feel that, because you're energetically sensitive, when you feel it, put your protection on so that other people's energy doesn't have a negative impact on you. You never need to go through that. And that brings up another topic we might as well talk about as long as we're here. That is that there are so many of you starseeds out there who are highly sensitive people, or you might call yourself an empath. Many of you feel victimized by that sensitivity. And I want you to know that is just limited thinking. It's not true. It's maybe what you've been taught, or maybe what you've fallen into. The bigger picture and the truth is that Creator made you perfectly. You are energetically sensitive because that is the way that you can best serve on your soul journey, first yourself and then others. So it's incumbent upon you to learn more about your energetic sensitivity, how to use it as a tool so that it empowers you rather than disempowers and weakens you. That's what it's all about. It's like your superpower cape that you put on to become this superhero of your own story and that of those that you interact with. So if you're feeling victimized by it, just know it doesn't have to be that way. It was not intended that way, and you can change it. So, there are steps that you can take. I've written about it. If you really get stuck, then probably we could do a reading to help you figure out what that's about. And when I do the soul introduction reading, that's something we always go through in depth for the highly sensitives, because it's so important that they fully comprehend how they were intended to use their powers so that they can manifest the life of their dreams and they can serve humanity because they'll have that heart for service. So it's not about victimizing you at all. Creator wouldn't do that to you. That's a dirty trick, right? No, it's about lifting you up. So hopefully that helps. Let me know. Kim, it helps. Oh, I'm so glad. Kelly, you posted on the Armageddon video, and can I answer? Don't know if I know the question that you posted. So unless you've already written it here somewhere, put the question in for me and then I'll do my best to answer. So Kelly, we must remind ourselves that thousands of years of religious fear mongering can be an ancestral seed in our DNA that we can heal now. Does Metatron have advice for healing ancestral junk? Okay, I think that's the question that you asked. So give me just a sec here. Yeah, it's so right. All of that religious fear mongering and trying to keep us down, weak and powerless. That's what it's all about. None of it's true. It's all limiting beliefs. We can throw it off. But of course, the easier said than done unless you have the tools and you've gone through the process. So that's what we're learning together. And that's a lot of what's happening. It's just evolving without us even having to focus very much on it, is releasing all of that stuff, leaning on the angels, stepping into our power through the 21-day process. That's why I still marvel at the genius that Metatron put together. So Metatron, what can you tell us about the ancestral DNA? And what was the rest of that? Healing the ancestral junk. Okay. Is there ancestral junk that we need to heal? Let's start there. He's saying yes and no, Kelly. Because here's the thing. You've got your soul ancestral line, and you've got your physical body ancestral line. So the physical body ancestral connection is something we can choose to take on or not. We don't have to take it on. Our soul can disconnect from that. But easier said than done, like a lot of things, right? So in that case, it would behoove you, if you feel that it's there, to do whatever process you feel good about using, or simply go into meditation, bring your angels, ask them to show you the origin of this issue, whatever it is. And this is what I do in the karmic blocks reading, is I go in and I look for those issues, and then I get the story. How did it start? What was the origin, the seed of it? Because once you've got that, you can pluck it out and it's gone. And the cool thing is that you get rid of that, and then it's like the dominoes falling, moving forward from that issue. Because if it's there, it shows up in your present life as repeating patterns or, other unwanted things. So when you collapse it that way, it's gone in the present too. It's really quite wonderful. So you can empower yourself by asking your angels to help you with that. And what else can you tell us about that, Metatron? Anything else specific that we can do? Yeah, he's saying if you're really worried about it, Kelly, then definitely spend some time with your angels. Make an appointment. He's saying make an appointment. That's funny. Make an appointment with your angels when it's convenient for you to sit down and go through block by block of whatever you're feeling, or even things that you think you might be imagining. Bring it up to them. Let them explain to you what it is, take you through it. And then with their help, you can pray and ask it to be cleared. Now, when you do that, Kelly, if you've got some kind of a process that you use yourself, do that. If not, you might find one online. The ones I use, I custom write when I do the karmic blocks clearing. So I will custom write them based on what showed up. And at the base of them all, it's really, here's the issue. Let's cut the cord, let's release it and have it transmuted to divine creator light and love. That's really what it's all about. Because whatever is negative there, we want to release it, send it away, and have it transmuted so it's no longer in our energy field. It's gone. So let me know if that makes sense. Harry's mom, your guides are preparing you for something, but they haven't told you what. Well, yeah, don't they always do that? And oops, hold on, it just jumped. Can you get more information about what they're preparing you for? It seems that it may involve travel. Okay. If it's something that you're ready to hear, we'll get it, but you may not be, so we'll just see what we get. So for Harry's mom, this thing you're preparing her for, is there anything you can share about that? And what about travel? What is it she needs to know now so that she can step into this new assignment with faith, confidence, trust, and power, bringing her power? Oh yeah, I'm seeing you rising up and putting on your cape. Just it's standing taller than you've ever stood before. Your body is filling out with all this power, and there you are, you're dressed, you're ready to go. Yeah, so there's more work to do in your own self-confidence, Harry's mom, believing that you've got it, what you need to do to move forward. So you've already got the tools, you've got the power. It's just a little working on your confidence and believing that you can do it. So they're saying, no, they're not going to tell you what it's all about at the end of the journey, because if they did that, you would make different choices along the way than you might otherwise. So they will show you what you need to know right before you get there, and they'll keep leading you forward. So it's like, that famous Martin Luther King quote, when you're climbing the stairs, you only need to see the very next stair or two. You don't need to see the top. And that's usually the case when we're on one of these big assignments, that we will just get it spoon-fed to us one piece at a time as we're ready for it, so that we can be present, fully engaged, and making the best, most empowered choices. Otherwise, we shoot ourselves in the foot and we get in our own way, because then we're all focused on the future, and we would make different choices from that perspective. So is there anything else that you can share with Harry's mom about that? You're saying, you got this, babe. Just keep moving forward. Okay, and what about travel? Was there something about travel she needs to know? They're saying, we'll let you know when it's time. So it doesn't feel like it's really close. It feels like there's a little time or distance yet. Let's just ask another question. So the travel, is it going to be something in 2022? No. So it's something that will be in 2023? Okay. Like first quarter? Can she expect something first quarter with regards to travel? Yeah. Okay. So that narrows it down for you a little bit. Let me know if that helps. You're welcome, sister. Leeser, should the overseas job be offered? Is this a direction I should take? Okay, so for Leeser, this overseas job, is this an optimal choice for her? This overseas job, is it the very best choice for her? now in the present. I'm getting yes, yes, yes to all of that, Leeser. So is it highly likely that she will be offered this job? Not 100%, Leeser. There's still some variables there, but there's a very good chance. And if it does come about, then it will be for your highest good. So I hope that helps. You love the background. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's called Kaleidoscope. Can you believe? It just seemed kind of fun for what we're going through right now. Susan, you're welcome. Kim, what are the light vortexes and symbols that you see when you wake up in the middle of the night? Oh, what a great question. So for Kim, the light vortexes and symbols. Can you tell her what that's about? So Kim, while you're sleeping, you are astral traveling and you're engaged in your soul's work. Because your soul doesn't need to sleep, your body needs to sleep. So while you're asleep, soul goes off and engages in all of these other things that it's involved with. What you're seeing are remnants of the things that you're working on. And it feels like there's some connection to like geometry, maybe math. So it's a kind of a scientific feel is what I'm getting. Is it about light language? No, not about light language. Okay. So it's about advanced studies. Yeah. So these are advanced studies that your soul is working on. When you are ready for that to come into your consciousness in the physical, then it will come, but you're not. That's more advanced stuff that you just don't need right now. But when you wake up, sometimes there's that moment where you just get a flicker of it or a resonance. And when that happens, you might just be in gratitude for it, knowing that it's going on and knowing that when you're ready, they will bring it into your awareness so that you can do something about it. But it's pretty cool that you're doing that and you're getting a clue that you're doing that because not everybody does. Brittany, hi, you'd like to know what your path looks like. Thank you. You are welcome. So for Brittany, what's coming up for Brittany? What does she need to know now? Something fun, because they're singing and dancing. They do ta-ra-ra boom da when it's something fun and uplifting. So that's what they're doing now. And I'm getting a yes on the pendulum just to, reinforce that. Yes, yes, yes. It's about fun, lightening up, celebrating. Don't take yourself so seriously. It's feeling like you've been too much nose to the grindstone, Brittany. You need to schedule in playtime. It's really important for your progress that you do that because all work and no play. That's a truism. And it applies in this case. So they're wanting you to do that. Schedule it in on a regular basis, just like you would schedule in, your 15 minutes, half hour, whatever of your connection time, your meditation time with your angel team. If you want to deepen that connection, that's part of the commitment to the learning and the growth. You schedule in that time. Now they can't overlap. So you could do your meditation time that leads into the fun time, or that, somehow you're in the fun time and you incorporate the meditation at the same time, if that makes sense. So they don't have to be separate, but it's more lightening up for you. That's really important right now. And when you do that, it's like you have your fists clenched with that nose to the grindstone thing that you're doing. So much focus, so much effort, which is putting the strain on your body. So when you lighten up, you breathe, you relax, you allow, you get into the fun, a little laughter, because that's going to relax your body. It shifts your energy. When you do that, it's going to be good for your health, body and soul. And it makes the space for you to get those insights from your angels. The breadcrumbs that they've been throwing out to you that have been invisible because you've been too clenched down to see them, suddenly you'll start seeing them. That's why it's so important, because you're blocking your spiritual progress with that clamped down energy. So I hope that makes sense, Brittany. Let me know. T-Barb, Metatron's warriors, your armor glows. Yes, it does. Sparkling. Rachel, can you type the name of the book about homeopathy? Oops, you just jumped. That has well, it's not every ailment, Rachel. it's the common stuff, but there's a lot of good in there. So yeah, let me just do that. It's the Banerjee Protocols. And you can find it on Amazon. Make sure you get the Protocols book. Hang on. Just happen to have it right here beside me. So get it in front of me. There. So that's the picture of what it looks like. And in these pages is just a phenomenal wealth of information. So it's really useful. And they are doing an advanced form of homeopathy that's very, very different from the classic traditional homeopathy. It's a family of doctors in Calcutta that are curing cancer. They are doing the most amazing, magnificent things with homeopathics because they've got the data. They have experimented and worked to get just the right potency and the right combination, the right dosing schedule for all of this stuff. And they're finally being recognized. They have been asked to come to the States to lecture at some of the universities. So there's maybe one day we'll open our eyes and see that there are better ways to treat people than with pharmaceuticals and cutting things out, you know, a more holistic, less invasive, less damaging way of treating people. Because I don't know, for me, I always thought about, like with cancer, I mean, what sense does it make to blast your body with all this negative stuff to kill all of the cells so that you can then build it back up again? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's illogical. So, you know, that and some of my own personal experiences led me to homeopathy because it makes sense to me. It's like treats like. You find out what are the symptoms, and then you find a remedy that helps with those symptoms. Like, for instance, arsenic. Arsenic is a poison, right? So if you've got food poisoning, you could take arsenicum, which is a remedy made from arsenic that's been potentized. And you take it, and then like treats like. That little minute amount of the poison from the arsenic that's been potentized, you take that for, let's say, food poisoning, and it just nullifies it. It's really quite remarkable. But, you know, there's not a lot of money in it because they're very inexpensive remedies. So Big Pharma doesn't want us to know that. But, you know, the royal family has used homeopathy for generations. They understand and they use it. Anyway, that's my soapbox. I'll get off of it. Auntie D, you were doing a group QHHT circle meditation. You felt a sensation on the left side of your stomach, like a balloon being blown up. Ask the guides why this occurred. Interesting. Okay, so for Auntie D, what was this thing in her left side? Her left abdomen that blew up like a balloon. Was it something to do with healing? No, it wasn't something to do with healing. Is it something she should be concerned about? No. Okay, so can you give me a clue? What's it about? Oh, okay. So what I see is that, you know, there were some negative energies, maybe toxins. It's kind of on the line. I'm not sure about whether it was really toxins or it was maybe like energetic toxins, but they're, you know, like free range in your body. And so while you were doing this healing, you were magnetically drawing them together. And when you did that, they formed that bubble. And then that bubble had to be dissipated in some way that wouldn't harm you, right? So your angels were helping you with that. So first it's brought into the bubble, and then it was transmuted. So that was the pop you felt when they transmuted and pulled it out. Now I know that sounds crazy as all heck, right? But that's what I'm getting. So hopefully that will make sense to you. Susan, Hawk's deadline Friday 11/18 is only 11 days away. Does Hawk or Metatron have any updates or messages re that particular deadline or what's happening? Okay, so Metatron, Hawk. Are we still on target for a big shift on the 18th of November? Yes, we are. Is it going to happen exactly on that day? Are we going to see something that we will recognize as part of the shift? I get a yes on that, Susan. So I don't know, but stay tuned. So anything else you can tell us about that? Is it going to be like that day and then stop? No, it's going to continue for some time. So how long can we expect it to continue? At least the really challenging part of it. How long? Can you give us a timeline on that? Is it more than a week? More than a month? So it's weeks. So a couple weeks? 3 weeks? Something like 3 weeks. And just know that timelines can shift, but somewhere in that range, Susan. But they're also reminding me, please don't go into panic and fear. That only exacerbates the situation. As long as you have done your preparatory work, you've called in your angels, you put that protective bubble around yourself, you've done what you can do. The rest you need to rely on your angels, put it in their hands. Don't take it back. Let them deal with it. That's their job. Now, it might mean that even doing all of that, you still need to rely upon help from neighbors or, family, whatever. And I'm not saying that specific to you, Susan, it just in general. So if something is coming to your area that's, an issue where you've got to get out of the way, for instance, then just know it's okay. You've still got the protection of the angels. Follow your intuition. If help is offered, take it. Don't be like that guy we hear in the rowboat story where he stayed out there in the storm and a helicopter came by and offered to save him. And he said, no, God's going to save me. And then 2 or 3 more things came along to save him. And he kept saying, no, God's going to save me. Then he drowned. And when he got to heaven, he's like, God, why didn't you save me? And God says, what do you want from me? I sent you a helicopter and all these other forms and you turned them down. So we don't want to be like that. We want to take the help if it feels right that's offered, because that might be your angels facilitating for you, right? So just be open to that being part of it. But right now, let's just ask a specific question for Susan. Is it highly likely that she will need to leave her apartment during whatever is going to happen in November? There's a chance, but not a very big chance, Susan. So as long as you've done that prep work, you should be okay to hunker down. So I hope that helps give you some peace of mind. Kate, you're late. That's okay. Never apologize for being late. You get here when you can get here. Your message of ascension last night. Should we all be working to ascend individually or working to help Gaia ascend? Both. Well, both actually, but let's just ask about that. So for Kate, what can you tell her about this ascension process for herself, for humanity, and for Gaia? They're saying, don't worry about it. It's all processing along the timeline. It's going well. And, where it needs extra angel intervention, that's happening. So just stay in the flow, Kate. Don't get into worry. Don't get into fear. Just know, when they're showing me lifting your eyes up to the heavens, to the sun, to the stars, whatever it is you're seeing when you look up, and just be in a state of appreciation and gratitude because of this amazing journey that you're on, knowing that everything is in divine, perfect timing. You are there. You are a part of it. You are doing what you need to do. You're doing beautifully today. Tomorrow it will be better. Just keep going and don't stress about it. Everything is falling into place, and where things are not exactly fitting, the angels will come along and they will nudge, they will adjust, they will help those things to come together, because from our perspective, we can't see all those little details, but they can. So we just trust them that they will work it all out, because we know the outcome is going to be Earthtopia. That's settled. That's not even up for grabs. So it's just a matter of the time between now and then, what we do about it. And that will determine the timing. So as much as we can flow, don't go into fear and worry, which would cause it to expand. Stay in the flow, stay in the love, the trust, the helping one another. That will cause the timeline to shorten so we can get there sooner. And that's the most important thing we need to know. So just keep moving forward and all will work out in divine timing. KT, it's a psychic battle for sure. You feel there will be a battle against the darkness. And it makes sense about the crystal grids. And you tell Metatron it's not a replacement for his help. That's cool. Yeah, see, so you already intuitively knew that. That's beautiful. I love hearing that, KT. Give yourself kudos for that because you got it. You were tuned into your intuition. And not so long ago, you might not have been. So, give yourself all those pats on the back for the progress you've made. And for all of us, it's part of it is being in gratitude for your own amazing self because you're on this marvelous expansion journey, going further and farther than you ever thought you might go, deeper, more profound. This is a sacred journey that we're all on. And we light workers who have stepped up and volunteered to go through to Earthtopia, to do that facilitation. It's a very sacred responsibility that we took on. So enjoy it as much as you can. Relax into the arms of your angels and know that you wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. So it's all good and just keep going. Brittany, amazing. Thank you. You'll have to figure out how to use your energy to benefit the intentions with your path and the people. You will. And again, when you're in that flow, just be very present in the moment, tuning in, allowing your intuition to carry you forward. So if there's something you notice, maybe you notice it and other people don't notice it. That's okay because you are sensitive. You picked up on it and you will act from that understanding of what you picked up on. Other people can't because they don't know about it. So there you can help lead them if they don't see it. Leading by example, of course, because we can't cause others to change, but we can influence them by our love, our light, and our actions. So it's always all about you and what you do, which will then influence those around you. Hey, Beth, so glad you could make it. Haven't seen you in a while. Anything new on the job? Maybe you told me that later. We'll find out. Richard, you have a niece that has been feeling that she needs to move out of San Antonio. Is it something that should happen soon or does she have time? She's considering Dallas. Okay. So for Richard's niece, is a move something that's highly optimal for her? Would it be a wise choice to move from San Antonio? Yes. I'm hearing like get out of Dodge. Very wise. She's tuned into her intuition. That's great. What about Dallas? Would that be an optimal choice for her? I get a no on that, Richard. Not far enough. She needs to go further. There's some toxic, it's like she's being chased by toxic energy. It's nipping at her heels. I'm seeing it, like these rabid dogs that are chasing her. So it's good that she's tuned in, she's feeling it, but go further. And well, let's just ask the question. Further than Texas, outside the boundaries of Texas, would that be optimal? Yeah. So I don't know what her options are, but as much as possible, get out of Texas. That would serve her. And you ask about the timeline. Okay, so does she have some time or is this a rush? They're saying it's not like she's got to do it tomorrow, but the sooner the better. So I'm feeling like there's a connection to winter as well, Richard. Like get out of there as soon as you can, safely. As soon as you can safely get out and get yourself set up somewhere else, that would be wise. And if it can't be soon, like before the winter, if it's got to extend out, then do the best you can each day, put up the protections, get help when you need it, ask your angels to help you. And what you can do is, as long as you're taking the consistent action, she's taking the consistent action, she can actually speed up her timeline. The angels can help her do that. So whatever pieces need to come together to get her out of there faster, they will facilitate that. So, don't fall into despair because you can't go fast enough. Just let the angels take up the slack and get her out of there as quickly as possible. Kelly, it was more a question for general information that you were led to ask. Cool. Okay. Yeah, and thanks for asking because, a lot of people are very concerned about the ancestral baggage. Beth, you had a friend you were thinking about. She looked at your profile on LinkedIn at the same time. You let her know this, but she hasn't responded. Not sure what it means. That's interesting. Okay, so for Beth, this friend, so yeah, the friend was getting an intuitive hit to connect with you, but she isn't connected in the same way that you are and trusting those intuitive hits, Beth. So she thought about it, she got busy and probably forgot about it. There will be opportunities coming around again, but it's really cool that you noticed, that she noticed, and something is happening. So this friend of Beth's, are they on a path to reconnect? Is that what's going on? Yeah. Yeah. And is there more there that you want to share? They're saying, no, just flow with it. Don't worry about it. But in time, there will be more revealed to you when it's appropriate. So they're going to play a little coy with you right now. Linda, is helping my sister part of my path or life lesson? So for Linda, this caregiving assignment, is this part of her soul journey that she planned? No, it's an obligation that you took on. So anything else you want to say about that? They're saying it's okay that you took it on. And as long as you can do it from a place of love and not feel that you're being taken advantage of or like you're putting your own life on hold. If that's true, if you can do that, then it's okay to continue. But if you are enmeshed in this energy and you are feeling resentful, like it's blocking your own journey, then something needs to change. Yeah, you can keep going on just the way you have, but it is not in the highest and best interests of your soul. It will change your experience. You will miss out on some things. You won't be at the same place as you would have been otherwise. So look around, if that's true and you're feeling like you need to change things, look around for solutions, different ways that you can address her needs without it impinging upon your soul journey. And know that when you feel like you can't do that, you have no options, that is not true. There's always something that you can do different, even if it's difficult, challenging, or something you really don't want to do. But it will shift the energy. It will put you in a slightly different place, opening doors for you to step into a different life experience, one that doesn't entail being shackled to a caregiver's role. And no, that's not a judgment. That's just an observation. And if you're perfectly happy, you're doing it from a place of love and acceptance without feeling bad about it, then you keep doing it. That's fine. But my sense is that's not the case. So I hope that helps. Let me know. Leeser, thank you. My heart wants this project to manifest. Yeah, I felt that. There's a very good chance. So just keep moving forward. Being in a state of gratitude, thankful to your angels, your team, for creating this opportunity for you. And here's the other thing that just popped in, Leeser. When you're doing that, thank them for this or something better, because something better could pop in. And you always want to be open to that. That would be totally amazing. KT, you keep seeing 3 of Pentacles pop up in your readings, more personal growth, and you feel there's something that you need to expand, but you're not sure what. Okay, so for KT, what's the 3 of Pentacles about? What's the greater message that she's not getting? Okay, so KT, I want you to Google the symbolism of the number 3. So find out what's behind that, because the 3 is significant. And of course, you know, the Pentacles being about earth and abundance, right? So it's potentiality. That's what I'm feeling. It's like you're standing on the precipice of some new grand adventure. And I'm seeing you throwing the 3 coins into the fountain. So it's like you're in a carefree, joyful kind of headspace where you don't need to hold on to those 3 pentacles because you think that that's all the money you've got, if that makes sense. You're feeling abundant. You're feeling like you can be generous. So you can throw those out in a very positive way of being, where where you believe that that's only going to expand your opportunity. So you are casting your bread upon the waters, knowing that it will triple, it will quadruple, it will just continue to expand because you're on that precipice and there's so much ahead that awaits you. So don't be afraid, don't hold back, go forth in joy. And playfulness too. Don't forget the playfulness, because that adds a lot to it. And when you were throwing those coins out, you were being very playful. So you want to be sure you incorporate that. Yeah, that's really cool. So let me know if that makes sense, if that answers your question. Brittany, you're so welcome. The lab fan. What is the best way to learn to tap into the Akashic records? Well, everybody can do it. It just takes practice. The fastest way, though, I think, is the path to hearing your angels and guides. That's why Metatron designed it that way. So yeah, you could go take courses, you could go through all of the weeks, months, whatever it takes to practice to get yourself to a place where you can not only connect, but you can believe what you get, because that's really what holds most people back. They're getting stuff right away because it's their birthright. They just don't trust or believe it. So when you use Metatron's process, he literally takes you by the hand and leads you through it one step at a time, building your confidence, teaching you what it might feel like, what you can do about it if you feel blocked. It's all there in that process. So you do that, and it doesn't even take 21 days. It's just, you'll get even more if you stay through the 21 days. But people who came into that group, some of them said, I can't meditate. I can't hear my guides. I don't hear my angels. Never have been able to do that. Within a week or less for some of them. I mean, one person, I think it was 2 or 3 days, they're spontaneously channeling because they made the commitment. They showed up, they shifted their energy, they let go of whatever that block was, the resistance, and just, it starts pouring in. Then, of course, being in that group supports you because you can ask questions, you can read about other people's experiences who have shared and find out that, oh, that's not really all that unusual. It happens to other people too, because, we judge ourselves. We think we're doing it wrong. And so often we're not. It's just, we didn't understand what it might look like. And it's going to be slightly different for everybody. But when you can let go of that, just flow with it, accept what you get, it will expand so much faster. You'll be having two-way conversations with your angels before you know it. It's just magical. So that's the fastest way I know. And the book is called The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides. The Facebook group, I think, is Metatron's 21-day challenge or something like that. If you just search for Metatron, you should find it. Laurel, you're retired. What is your best path for this stage of life? So for Laurel, what does retirement look like for Laurel? It looks like paying attention to what Laurel needs, feeding your own soul before everybody else. Don't put your wants, needs, hopes, and desires in the background. Step up, because when you do that, you will expand your love bubble, your energy, so that it will positively impact those around you. But you can't do that if you're working from an empty vessel. So it's really learning self-care, really leaning into it like you've never done before. And then from that place, that empowered place that you get to when you attend to your own needs first, then you look around with all this love that's flowing from you, and you will be guided by your angels as to which direction might be optimal for you. They will be tossing you breadcrumbs left and right to get your attention. So if you see something that looks delicious, juicy, fun, exciting, go explore it. See if it fits with your present wants, needs, and desires. And if it does, great, go with it. If not, more will be coming. But it's really about being more mindful, being present in the moment, because now you can do that. You've got the space, you've got the time. So if not now, when? And it's super important that you do this ASAP, Laurel, because as we're stepping into this psychic battle, moving forward to facilitate Earthtopia, your energy and focus will be a little bit split. You still will be working on your own journey that never stops. That's always number one priority. But also, in addition, you will be fulfilling whatever your role is in this great shift. And I know you have a role or you wouldn't be here. So it's up to you to figure out what that is, what feels really good to you, and do that. And the way you figure out what feels good, Laurel, if in case you missed it, is go to your solar plexus, feel it there. Take all the options that you have and run them through the filter of your solar plexus. Whichever one feels the very best, do that. If you can't get it down to just one choice, if it's 2 or 3 choices, then flip a coin. The most important thing is to make a choice and get moving. You don't want to get stuck in that energy of, should I do this or that? And because that shuts everything down and life gets harder. So it's, pause, figure out which is the best, and then get going again. And that will serve you so well as you move forward. Then you will start discovering all those shining gems that your team has scattered out there for you to find. And it will be just an amazing, glorious life journey. And you don't want to miss that. Kim says, thank you. What you see is different all the time. The most memorable ones included a number sequence that you saw once. You couldn't read them. And a glowing interlinked green floral grid. Interesting. That could be one of those crystal grids, I suppose. And the number sequence. Don't worry about what they are, because if it were important for you to be able to see them clearly enough to identify the numbers, you would. And you still might in the future. There's that belief hurdle that we all have to get over when we see something like that. That's why when you go to your Akashic records, you don't just have a book that you're reading, because for us to mentally connect and read a book that we've materialized from our records is really hard. So that's why they use all this symbolism. They use things that are meaningful to us that we can easily figure out what the symbolism is and then go forth and use that. So that's why it feels like they're playing a game with us. What they're really doing is making it easy for us, because if we had to wait until we could read the book or read the numbers in your case, it would delay our journey. So they're helping you get these workarounds. That's what it's all about. So don't stress and strain about it if you can't see it. Just know that when the time is right, you will. Meantime, just be grateful for it and more will come. That's the biggest thing about all of this. Just be in a state of gratitude. Let them know it and then ask for more and it will come. Auntie D, you thought that it might be removing negative energies from past lifetimes that your body was still carrying. Maybe, let's ask. So for Auntie D, that thing she felt in her left abdomen, was it connected to past lives? No, I get a no on that. Interesting. I would have expected a yes. No. So it's all about, stuff in the present, Auntie D. Things that you have taken on that didn't belong to you, other people's negative emotions, your own self-judgment, all of that balled up. And I'm seeing it, like those yarn balls where it's all tightly wrapped. And it was pretty intense. So that's why your angels came in and helped you transmute it, because it needed to happen. But the really cool thing is that you were at a place where you were recognizing you needed something, and you were able to get to that place where the angels facilitated and helped you to gather it all up and then get rid of it. So that's really awesome. Keep doing that. Susan, thank you. That was helpful. I'm so glad. Oh, Casey Snipes, tap the like button. Thank you. I appreciate that. Richard, if power is lost for some time, make sure you have cash on hand because the banks may be closed. Yeah, absolutely. That's part of the preparedness stuff that Metatron's been talking about, like having the bottles of water if you can't get water, because if the power goes out, how are you going to get water, right? So basic things like that you will need. Beth, no, you didn't get the job. It went to somebody with a PhD. Wow. Well, it's their loss. That just means there's something better waiting for you out there. Matthew, just an update from a reading a while ago. Was dead on. It got you to pay attention. You're learning so much. Thank you. You are so welcome. I don't remember what it was though, Matthew. Sorry, these things don't stick with me. But whatever it was, I'm so happy for you. Callista says, thank you to me, to Metatron, the guides. Yeah, you're welcome. You feel like it will be all right. Good to keep that vibe for you within the chaos. Yes, super important. Last night and tonight, you admired the sky. It's always a reminder of divine. That's perfect. Keep doing that. Because it's almost like you are connecting with your star family when you do that. You're getting that energy. And it's like they're energizing you, but it's more than that. It's an emotional connection that you need. That's like a stability line is what it feels like to me. So to your heart chakra, you're connected to your star family. And for whatever reason, that helps you to deal with the challenges of this life. So it's important for you, and it's good to honor that. Yes, it will be all right. And yeah, just, remember when the chaos feels too intense, either withdraw if you can, or put on that protective energy bubble, because you never have to be victimized by that chaos energy. You have tools. So that's the time to bring them out and gird yourself against whatever it is that's coming at you. You're welcome, Beth. You're welcome, Richard. Callista, the Kindle version is 15 USD. Can you download the Kindle? The additional protocols need the original book for reference. You're talking about the Banerjee protocols, I think. I have the hard book, and when I got that, it was like $100. It was really expensive. They brought it down tremendously since then. I don't know if there is a Kindle version. That I'm not sure. Can you send me an email and I'll investigate, because off the top of my head, I don't recall seeing whether they had a Kindle or not. They're working on their homeopathic stuff, so they're not really all that into the new technology. KT, you're welcome. Jennifer, are there 3 books to learn, starting with Akasha Unleashed? That's book 1. Well, you can if you want to. You'll get more of the picture if you do that. But if you want to just really dive in and start your channeling, then start with the Path to Hearing Angels and Guides. You can always go back and get book 1 later if you want to learn more. Book 1 was introducing the records to people, explaining how they worked, getting them started, because so many people don't even know they exist. That's what book 1 was all about. And yeah, it's still a great read. But like I say, if you really want to dive in and get to channeling fast, then book 2 will do that for you. The workbook, you can do the workbook or not. It's totally up to you. It's helpful because there are more messages in there. Those 21 days of messages are all in there. And, it's a place for you to record your journey, but it's not absolutely necessary. It's the path book is the really important one, if that's what your priorities are, getting up to speed with channeling. And that's what Metatron felt. He wanted everybody to get up to speed with channeling ASAP. That's why that book came. Jennifer, thank you for talking about homeopathy. So many people have not heard of it, and it's so affordable and better than chemicals. Yeah, totally with you there. I'm just sold on it because it's changed my life for the better. I learned a long time ago that doctors and I just don't get along. They have screwed up and done me wrong so many times. And then when they tell you, you just got to live with something, that's not acceptable. What the hell are you doing if you can't heal people? I think, especially in America, medicine has just gotten off the rails. They're all about just treating the symptoms and not getting to the core. And homeopathy gets to the core. So that's why I'm so sold on it. And I'm happy to share it with anybody who wants to hear. But if I ever go off on a tangent and it feels like a soapbox, then just let me know you're done hearing about it. And that's okay too. Mary, you're interested in what you think are angel numbers. You see 222, 1212, and 444. Yeah, those are all angel numbers. And the thing about it is, Mary, any number can be an angel number if it suddenly comes into your awareness, and it comes more than once, but keeps showing up. It could be 926. which you wouldn't necessarily think was an angel number. But if it keeps coming into your consciousness, it's an angel number, and you can look it up to find out what it means. So yeah, if you're seeing those numbers particularly, no question about it. So I would get the symbolism of all of them and then reflect upon, how does that connect with where you are? What can you learn from that that will help you move forward? Because they're all purposeful. They don't send these things for no reason. It's not just to say hi, it's to say hi and here's your message. So you always want to look them up if you're not already doing that. The lab farm. Your youngest daughter, Ava, is struggling with school. You're considering another school like a Montessori with more hands-on learning. Where is she meant to go? So for the lab farms, Ava, would it be beneficial to switch her into a more hands-on learning school? Yeah, it's feeling like it would be more supportive. And I'm hearing emotional, so I don't know if she needs more emotional support, but it's feeling like to help her expand her consciousness and her intelligence, that extra emotional understanding is going to be really important for her. So if possible, yes. If it's not possible, then maybe it's a matter of you stepping up and supporting her more, particularly with the spiritual expansion, if you feel led to do that, because that connects to so many other things and can help her to open doors in herself that will lead her to more connection that will help her in the 3D world. So I don't know why I said all of that. It just kind of came out. So it apparently it's important, but that's what your angels wanted you to know. Sometimes these things just come out and it's like, I don't know, but if that's what they said, that's what they said. Mary, you'd like to do the 21-day challenge. What would be the first step? Would the book, yeah. So yeah, The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides, which you can get on Amazon. Read the book first, because it's the 21-day journey that I went through in order to create this process for you. So Metatron used me as the guinea pig to do the process. And truthfully, when I did it, I didn't know it was going to be a book. I didn't know it was going to be a challenge. I didn't know any of that. I was just following what Metatron led me to do. When I got done, it was so obvious. Oh my gosh, I have wanted to teach people to channel for years, but I couldn't figure out how to teach them because everybody does it differently. It's not like you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, follow this process. It doesn't work that way. It needs to be just individualized for everybody on an energy level. So the 21 days did that. People read the book, then they took the challenge, which we do in that Facebook group, and they just had these amazing experiences. Now, I do know that because of that group, it lifts up the energy and it helped everybody to have a deeper experience. Doesn't mean you can't do it on your own, but why would you if you've got all that support? So there are people who've been in that group for over a year now. Some of them have done the challenge multiple times, and we will be doing a group challenge starting in January. So as soon as I know that date, I'll be letting you know. You want to be on my mailing list so that you can get those updates. And you can do that when you get the book. There's a link in there that will sign you up for the mailing list and for the Facebook group. So you can get all that through the book. Or you can just go to my website and sign up for the VIP list, which is the third Saturday when we get together on Zoom and I answer questions. Or get one of my meditations off my website. Any of those things will put you on my mailing list. Then you'll get all the regular updates that the public doesn't get. It just goes to my list. So those are the people who've said, hey, I want to be connected to you and I want to know what's going on. I want to take this journey with you. Those are the people who are getting those updates before the public ever hears about them. So yeah, that's the way to do it. And then just jump into the group. You can do the meditation challenge yourself in the group before January if you'd like, and then join us again in January, because that will help to solidify it for you. It will get you there faster. So the more effort you put into it, the faster and better results you'll get. And, you know, people have had miraculous results learning to channel. What they're doing is way beyond anything I ever expected. So it's wonderful. I can't recommend it highly enough. And it's not me, it's Metatron. This was Metatron's book. I just transcribed it. I did the experience, but it was just transcribing and sharing it. So it's that level of brilliance, just perfection for what we need to support you. Oh, thank you, Matthew. I see you said it, what the book was. Kim, thank you. You're looking forward to the appointment. Awesome. I will be sending you a Zoom link. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it's exciting. It's taking somebody on that journey is just a phenomenal experience. It never gets old because it's introducing you to your magnificent soul that is so much more than you ever thought it could be. Than understanding where you came from, why you are who you are, how you're wired to be in the world at the highest level. It's just, I can't come up with an adjective that's big enough to describe it, but it's phenomenal. Auntie D, it's awesome. You're grateful for the assistance from the angels to clear that. Perfect. Laurel says, thank you. The message makes sense. Very relevant. Great. Matthew, there is a Kindle version. You just bought it. Oh, and T-Barb says also, so the Banerjee protocols, there is a Kindle version. I think that's what you're saying. Susan, is the protective energy shield dome playing an active role in what we are about to go through starting 11/18 with Gaia and birthing Earthtopia? So for Susan, the protective energy dome, is that playing a role in what's going to happen beginning on the 18th? Oh, absolutely, Susan. Yeah, and you can create multiples of those domes. You know, there can be the big one around the whole planet that will serve a different purpose than the individual ones that you might put around your property or just around you. So be creative about that, whatever you feel led to do. And know that because it is an energy dome, it can erode. It might have to be resurrected. So just like the zip up that we do, and that's the thing where you just, zip up this energy bubble around you to put a buffer between you and the noisy, chaotic energy of the world. It's an energy dome. So when you get out in that noisy, chaotic energy, it will start to erode. So when you feel it start to erode and you're noticing, oh, that noise is starting to get closer and I'm feeling it now, then stop and zip up again. So it's a similar concept to the protective shield. Stephen King had a movie where there was a big dome that was around a portion of Earth and these people were in there. And I kind of think of that. I flash on that as a visual when I think about that dome, but it can look like anything that makes sense to you. It doesn't really matter what you see it as. Just know that it's real. It exists. You can invoke it with the help of your angels. You have that kind of power, which is pretty mind-blowing to know that you've got that power. You can call angels. You can call anything you need. You're the creator of your reality. So what do you want to create? Never forget that. Harry's mom, can the book be used with a different brand of remedies? Oh yeah, any homeopathic remedy, just so it's homeopathic. So on Joette's website, I think she gives you links for pharmacies in other countries. I'm not sure, but I think she does. I know there was one in Canada. They're not all in the States. But yeah, and there are, because the royal family is using them, so certainly there are pharmacies that are making these compounds. So yeah, it's just a matter of Googling and finding them, but absolutely. Harry's mom, you enjoyed the 21-day challenge. Yeah, I'm so glad. Yeah, the caveat about that is that number of years ago, I had this client I was working with, I think she was in Norway, and homeopathics are not allowed in Norway. I couldn't even send them to her. They're not allowed to come in the country. So as long as your country allows them, then you can get them. That's the thing. And you can even order them from the States and have them shipped to you. Like there's one place in West Virginia that makes them. It's oh gosh, I'm forgetting the name of it. Their website is homeopathyworks.com. Oh, Washington Pharmaceuticals or something like that. they can ship out of the country as long as the country allows it. So yeah, there's lots of options. You can get them. Yeah, it's not about the brand. So I hope that helps. Gina, you started down this spiritual path. You want to deeply connect with your spirit guides for self-empowerment and guidance. You meditate daily, but you haven't heard any messages yet. What is meant for you? Gina, when this thing posts, go back and watch the beginning because we've talked about it probably 3 times during this video. So the short version is it's because you're blocking it. It's a lack of belief. And it's also because you're building the muscles. So do the book, The Path to Hearing Angels and Guides, because it will take you step by step how to do this. By the time you finish that, you will be able to do this. And then if you want to, you can join the group where people are doing the challenge together. It's 21 days. And there's tremendous support there. You will find stories there from people who, just like you, came in and said, I can't meditate. Doesn't work for me. And I tell them, if you can daydream, you can meditate. Everybody can meditate. They just don't know it because they don't understand that it's like a daydream. Now, for some people who are not visual, it's harder. But the thing is, you can daydream. You are visual. You just have it in your head that you're not. So if you can daydream, you can have visual meditations. Now, in the beginning, you may only get feelings in your body. You may kind of hear something in your head or just get these feelings in your body. It can come in all sorts of ways. Don't worry about it. Whatever you get, accept it, be grateful for it, and keep going. When I started, I got lots of visuals because that's the way I was wired. But now I have all of it kicking in. You know, sometimes I'll be working with somebody and I'll get something very physical that I actually feel sick. It's like a putrid pit coming up that's a message for them. And while that's not pleasant, I only get those visceral physical feelings because it was important for them to know how powerful this thing was that needed to be dealt with. Because my guides are not trying, and your guides are not trying to torment me. It's making a point. It's all very purposeful. But whatever you get is perfect. Just go with that and keep going. Don't give up on yourself. You will get there way faster than you think you can, especially if you do the process in the book, the 21-day meditation challenge. And that's what it's all about, getting you there fast, because we need all the light workers to come on board ASAP, fully powered up, connected, having that two-way conversation with their angels so that they can move forward faster, first empowering themselves and then stepping forward into their role in this grand journey that we're on to bringing forth Earthtopia. So hope that answered your question. Susan says, thank you. You'll work on creating the domes. Great. Perfect. Beth, you think there's one upstate New York? There might be. Yeah. Matthew, you're asking how I'm doing? I'm doing well because I'm connected all the time. And I get that energy infusion just by being connected. You know, I'm pushing hard right now to get this new book done because it was supposed to be out the end of October, and I'm a little behind on that, but you know, I'm being kind to myself about it because I am doing the best that I can, and that's all that Metatron asks of me. Yeah, he wanted it out sooner, but he's also accepting that it just didn't happen. So I recorded 5 of the meditations today. There are 18. It's going to take me probably the rest of the week to get them all recorded. Then I have to edit them and get them uploaded. The book itself needs another editing pass, and I've got to finish the front and the back parts of it. And here's a funny story I'll share with you. I think you'll like this. I had it in my head that I needed a final message from Metatron at the end of the book. And so I sat down and I said, okay, are you ready to give me the message for the end of the book? Yes. Okay, so let's do it. So I get the message, get all done with it. I go to put it into the book. I've already got a final message from Metatron in the book. I forgot that I got it already. And I had to laugh at myself because it's like, okay, now I have 2 final messages from Metatron. What am I going to do? 2 epilogues? I don't know. I'll figure it out. But it was really funny. And I was just feeling like I needed another message. So I did, because, you know, that's how it happens. For whatever reason, there was more that was needed to be said, no matter what I call it. So it will be there. And so I've just got to get that all organized. Like I said, do the final editing pass and then get it up onto Amazon. So I'm anticipating that next week, hopefully early in the week, because I'd like to get it out before Thanksgiving, I'll actually have the book available for you to download on Amazon. And what I'll do is, for like the first week that it's out, it's launch week, so it will be reduced in price so that all of my followers can grab it at the reduced price. And then what would be really helpful is if you could read it and then post a review as soon as possible. And if you can't read the whole thing in, you know, a relatively short time, you can always just read some of it and then post a review, and an honest review, whatever you feel it deserves. But getting the reviews on there right away, like in that first week, will make a tremendous difference in where it ranks on Amazon. So we want to rank as high as possible, because that means they'll show it to more people. And we've got to get this out there as fast as possible to as many people as possible to get them on board and help us with this project that we're all working on. So that's the funny story about the book. I thought you guys might enjoy that. And I'll share that in the mailing as well when it goes out. Every Sunday I send out an update. So if you're on my mailing list, you'll get that. And this is one time where you guys got the message before the group. So there you go. Gina, you're welcome. Harry's mom, they're not allowed to be shipped from the UK or US, only Europe, but you have a brand here called Named in the pharmacy. Okay, as long as it's homeopathic, it's fine. T-Barb. Oh, she's talking to Gina. Okay. Yeah, T-Barb says it feels like you're talking to yourself in your head. Yeah, that's a great way of describing it, which is why people doubt it, because they think that it's just their ego. Amanda, any messages for the collective relayed to the election tomorrow? Okay, so for Amanda and everybody, any message you want to share with us about the US election tomorrow? They're singing a lullaby, Amanda. And they're saying, sleep well, don't worry about it. Everything is in hand, and it will be a positive outcome for the good of all. So no worries, let go of all of that. Go into sleep without the worry, have a very deep, restful, restorative sleep, and then just know tomorrow begins a new era. Yeah, they just said that. How cool. Okay. Yeah. So whatever happens, it's going to be positive in the long run, even if it doesn't look positive in the short run. That's what you got to remember. So if in the first hours when you hear the results, it doesn't feel or look like what you thought it might or hoped it might, don't worry. It is all coming together for a very positive result. Just like when we got 45 here in the US, and for some of us, that was not a good or a happy thing. It was still purposeful because we needed him to root out all the corruption, to expose it to the light so that we could deal with it, because it had been hidden for a very long time. So he was actually living his purpose. He was the catalyst that started all of that stuff coming out. Doesn't mean we have to like him, but he did serve his role in this whole thing too. So whether we like it or not, whether it feels good or not, it was part of the process, which led us to where we are now, and it will be getting better. We are promised. We're moving into Earthtopia. It will be better. So yeah, keep the faith. Everything will be okay. Hopefully better than okay, but at least okay. KT, why does the full moon bother you so much? You're sensitive to other movements like equinox, solstice, retrograde. Okay, so for KT, can you help her? What's this sensitivity about? KT, you're probably from one of the starseed planets that's very connected to Earth. I don't know, I'd have to look it up in your records, but there's one called Polaris, which is the North Star. People from Polaris are very sensitive. They will feel shifts in the Earth that the rest of us are not feeling because of their connection. So it's possible that's where you're from. It's also possible that you are just wired to be more sensitive to those things. And if you are, it's a good thing. So you don't want it to victimize you. You want to take that information and use it for empowerment in whatever way you feel led. If it feels too intense, if it's uncomfortable, then don't hesitate to put your zip up, your protective dome on, or ask your angels to help you with whatever it is you're feeling to lessen the symptoms so that you can get through it. And once they've done that, you, with a little practice, will probably get to the place where you won't need extra help. You will have adapted, but you just might need a little help getting over the hump to get where it feels more comfortable for you. But you wouldn't be feeling this, you wouldn't be getting it if you weren't able to deal with it. And it's not for nothing. There's always purpose behind everything. It's just a matter of sussing out what that purpose is and then expanding into it and using it in the way that feels the very best for your soul. So I hope that helps. Susan, your laptop stopped working on Friday. It's disrupting ordering your prepping supplies. You're using an old laptop that has no protection or security updates. So why did that happen? So for Susan, they're saying, Susan, some things just are. It was just worn out and it needed attention. Is there anything else connected to that, though, that she needs to know? Oh, Susan, it's helping you to be more versatile because you ran into a roadblock. You were planning to do that ordering. You got this big brick wall you slammed into, and you get to decide now, do I sit here and cry because I hit a brick road and wail, oh, woe is me? And that's, that's being silly with you, right? Or do I get up, look around, ask my angels to help me find an alternative? Maybe the alternative is borrowing one from somebody. Maybe it's going to the library and using one. There's always a way. So don't let yourself get defeated by something that small. It might feel big, but it's really not in the grand scheme of things. So this is a really wonderful lesson for you, which will serve you as you move forward into more challenges. Anytime you hit that brick wall and you fall flat on your behind, take a moment, catch your breath, stand up, brush yourself off, and then look around for your next option, because there always is one. And usually there's more than one. So that's what it's about. Oh, Matthew, you're so welcome. Yeah. I hope you get a lot out of the book. I know you will. Jennifer, you're welcome. Amanda, you are welcome. You're laughing at the lullaby because they know it's your bedtime as you work early. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. And it was Brahms' lullaby I was hearing, in case that matters. Matthew, you got to go. Thank you. You are so welcome. So glad you could be here. Gina, you're also opening a boutique. You bought a franchise and you're nervous. Will it be successful and profitable? Okay, what a great question. So for Gina, her boutique, is it highly likely that it will be the success that she dreams of? Yes. Is there anything else she needs to know about that? They're saying pace yourself because it's a big undertaking and you're going to hit baubles. Don't worry about them. Just keep going. Like Susan hitting the brick wall. When you hit something, don't worry about it. Take it in stride, get back up, look for the next option and keep going. But all the signs are really good for this undertaking. And as the energies are shifting, when we're out of all the chaos from 2022 and into our new normal of 2023, it's a really auspicious time to start whatever. I got stuck, sorry. To begin something new, that kind of an endeavor, it's auspicious. It has really good signs. But just know it won't be perfect. Businesses never are. There's always going to be bobbles, but you've got what it takes. You're ready. Just keep moving in faith and trust, knowing that you can figure out any of the glitches that come up. You're welcome, Susan. You're welcome, KT. Kim, you appreciate the energy. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful compliment. Okay, you guys, got a few more minutes. Any more questions before we wrap? Gina, tears of joy. Thank you. You are so welcome. Keep us posted on how it goes. It's very exciting. T-Bar, pertaining to earthing, you found a grounding mat because winter is coming and you were drawn to look for it. Does this mean you should get it? So for T-Bar, would it be an optimal choice for her to purchase that grounding mat that she saw? They're saying if you want to, it's not necessary, but if it makes you feel good, then do it. It's really about making you feel good. But just knowing that you've already got everything you need. You've got the understanding, you've got the faith, you've got the confidence, you've been practicing, you're ready. But if it'll make you more comfortable, then absolutely do that. It was wonderful. Thank you. You are so welcome, Beth. I'm so glad you could be here. T-Bar, you're doing this. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. Gina, you will. KT's, thank you and have a good night. Oh, you'll get the mat. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Rachel says, thank you. You're so welcome. Elena, is there a way to retrieve information from being drawn into a portal? Not sure what you're saying, Elena. A way to retrieve without being drawn into a portal? Is that what you mean? I'm going to go with that. And if it's wrong, let me know. So for Elena, can she get information through a portal without being drawn into it? Absolutely. They're showing me a picture of you, Elena, pulling on your gravity boots. They're holding you down. They're grounding you. Oh, grounding, of course, right. Grounding yourself. Do a really good, solid grounding. You might even want to write yourself something a little extra emphatic. So do that really powerful grounding and then just know you're fine. And you can always ask your angels to hold you down by the shoulders if you feel like you're starting to drift. But you can absolutely do it. You've got the power. You just need to use it. And I'm hearing that song, you got the power. Yeah, you got a lot of power. So use it, Elena. That's the big thing for you. Don't hesitate to use that power, even if it feels really crazy what you're asking for. If you feel inspired to ask for it, then do it. There's a reason. Just go with it. You're welcome, T-Bar. Gina, I'm so glad you found us too. Yeah, keep coming back. T-Bar. Oh, I was looking for more questions. Gotcha. Okay. Does that mean you had 4 more questions? Yeah, ask. We still got a few more minutes. I told David I'd be done by 9, so, we got a few more here. Okay, Elena, you were pulled into a portal and given information, but you can't recall it. Okay, so for Elena, can you help her to recall the information she got in the portal? Oh, no, not right now, Elena. What they're saying is you got into the portal, you got the information, you were able to get it there, but it's not ready yet to come outside of the portal. So it's like your soul's got it, but it's not ready to come into your 3rd dimensional consciousness yet. So they're prepping you. There's a lot of prep work that's going into getting you ready for this next phase that you're going into, which is slightly different from what everybody else is doing, because you've got that work with Superstition Mountain you're going to be doing. So they're rewiring and whatever it is they need to do with your DNA and your energy to get you ready. So when it's time for you to recall it, you will, or it may never be time. It might be something you didn't need to know anyway. You just need to be there to physically receive it, which you did. So don't stress about it. If you need to know, you will. They have you, they're saying, Elena, you're on a need to know basis. I think they told you. Okay. Michelle, are you able to connect with my dog that I had to put down a couple weeks ago? Well, let's try. So for Michelle, calling her puppy. Are you there? Do you have anything you want to share with Michelle? Well, I hear panting. I'm seeing a white dog with just a little bit of black on it, and almost like that dog from Little Rascals with the, the black spot on the eye. So panting, happy, solidly built dog. Good energy. So are you Michelle's dog? No, not Michelle's dog. Okay, so why are you here? Oh, Michelle, it's your dog in waiting. Wow, that's never happened before. This dog says it's your dog in waiting. I don't know if you were planning to get another dog, but you've got one waiting to come. So have you been with Michelle before? Is that why you're waiting? Yeah, this dog has been with you before. This soul wants to come back to you. Okay, is there a timeline when she'll be able to connect with you? Is that within 2022? No. Okay. So in 2023, you will connect with her. Will you look like you do now? No. I don't know. Maybe you had one at one time that looked like this, and that's why it showed me. Because, when they show themselves with the colors and so I can see what they look like, there's a reason. It's not random. So it means something. Hopefully it means something to you, because I don't know what it means unless there's a symbolism behind that, or maybe it's connected to Little Rascals. I don't know. But there's something there for you, Michelle. So you will connect with her in 2023. Will you be a rescue? Yeah, rescue dog. And you will find her. Yes, we'll find you. And will that be in the first half of 2023? Yeah. First quarter? No, second quarter probably. Now know that timelines can change slightly depending on various things, Michelle. But right now it looks like second quarter of 2023. This dog soul who's going to reconnect with you will show up as a rescue. So you'll be led to it. Something will happen to connect you. And if that's okay with you, if you're open to it, then you might in your meditations try to connect with that dog and be ready to follow the breadcrumbs when they come, because they will. That's really cool. Thank you for asking that. Linda says, thank you. You are so welcome. Harry's mom, lots of people on Amazon are saying their copies of the book are not legit. It's scanned with lots of errors, and they recommended buying directly from Banerjee because the dosages and names are wrong. Huh. I don't know about that, Harry's mom. I got mine a number of years ago. Like I said, when I got it, it was close to $100. So that one was most assuredly the original, and it was good. Yeah, if you have worries about that, then you might want to go straight to the Banerjees to get it. Because if people are sharing that, that's an important thing to know about. T-Barbs, the three fingers you weren't seeing, so you didn't know if I missed it, but I saw it. Okay. Long as I got it, didn't want to leave you out. Elena's laughing. Yeah. Gary, can you connect with my son? Okay. So for Gary. Gary's son. Do you have anything you want to share with your dad? I hear a humming sound, a very happy, stable, balanced, steady humming sound, which is, to me, that means well-being. That's what I get from that. It might mean something different to you, but I'm feeling well-being. So he wants you to know that he's doing well and you don't have to worry about him. He also says, now you see, Dad, you ask and I was here right away. So I want you to know that whenever you think about or talk about, I'm near. Never doubt that. Always near. And he's showing me a picture standing behind you, embracing you. So he's got his arms wrapped around you and his head is on your shoulder. He's just embracing you. And he's just standing there, sharing energy with you very peacefully. It's a lovely image. So if you find you're in a place where you're feeling down and you're missing him, you could do a little meditation and bring that vision forward. He wants you to remember that picture of him standing there embracing you. It's very powerful. Lots of love. Is there anything else you want to share with your dad? Yeah, that's it for now, Gary. He just wanted you to know that that was important. And also to know that you can connect with him anytime you want. In fact, Gary, if you go to my website, akashaunleashed.com, go to the tab that says meditations. There is a meditation called Connecting with Guides. You can use that to connect with lost loved ones. So when the meditation guides you to see an angel or a guide or something, see your son, you can do that. So you can bring him forward. You can connect in your Akashic records. It will be yours where you meet him. In that space, you can touch him. You can talk to him. You can just be with him. It's incredibly healing. So, if you're dealing with those feelings of missing him and needing him to be near, that's a really wonderful gift you can give to yourself. And it was a downloaded meditation. I can't take credit for it. I just transcribed it. But it's proven to be so powerful that people have said, I can't meditate, but I was able to do this. And you might need to do it a couple of times before you get really adept at it, and that's okay. You don't want to get stuck there. That's the only thing about it. If somebody's in a deep state of grief, they could just do the meditation and kind of spend a lot of time there, which takes them away from their life. You never want to do that. You want to process the grief and then live your life, because that doesn't serve your lost loved one. And I don't know if you need to hear that, Gary, but it's what's wanting to come out. So yeah, do the meditation. You can do it multiple times, but just don't get stuck there, right? Know that your son is doing well. He's moving on, but he will still be available if you need him. So I hope that helps. Kelly says, thank you. Got to go. Enjoyed the chat. So glad you could be here. Gary says, thank you. Michelle, that's what your dog looks like, or the one you want looks like. Okay. As long as it means something to you, it's perfect, Michelle. So happy to hear that. The healing medium says, hello, everyone. Hello, Kevin. Glad to have you here. We're almost wrapped though, so I'm glad you could pop in. Bringing that little extra love and energy is so important. So thank you for doing that. Jennifer, you're going on a trip, but you'll be home by the 15th. You're kind of nervous about the 18th being the date of something happening. No need for concern, right? Well, let's just ask. We won't take that for granted. So for Jennifer, this trip on the 15th, does she need to be concerned about whatever's happening on the 18th? Will it interfere with her trip? No, it's good. So for the entirety of her trip, she will be safe and happy. Yes. And Jennifer, also, don't forget to put on your protective bubble and call your angels. Just as an extra insurance, can't hurt. Always a good thing to do. And what about when she returns from her trip? Is there anything she needs to be concerned about with regards to the happening? No, you're good. Yeah, I've asked about a couple of places around the world. It's not going to hit here so that I'll have to hunker down for the month, which Metatron talked about. But there are going to be some places that get that kind of devastation where you do need to be prepared. And it doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. Just this wave that's coming on around the 18th, it's probably not going to be here, and it's not going to be in New York where Susan's at, or at least it's not going to be the severe part. There is going to be something happening in Minnesota. I checked on that place. So yeah, we can check on specific places and ask about that. And what we get in the moment is true. However, timelines can shift. So always keep that in mind, and you can ask again, which is why you want to do that 21-day meditation challenge, because you'll be able to ask for yourself. You won't have to wait until you can come and I ask for you. And that's what it's all about. It's self-empowerment. We want to get you to the place where you're confidently having those two-way conversations with your angels so that you can get those answers you need. And then for the stuff where it's just too emotional, you're too attached to the outcome and you can't get an answer, then you come and you ask. And that's why we have these gatherings. So thank you all for being here and sharing, because the questions that you bring help so many other people. You have no idea. So just by being here, you are helping the collective, and that's a blessing. I really appreciate you all. T-Barb, thank you. You've got to get the school babies to bed. You are so welcome. Always delighted to have you here, T-Barb. Harry's mom, thank you. You're the best. Right back at you. I so appreciate having you here. Kim, love and light to everybody in the chat. Back at you too. Callista, Minnesota sigh, not surprised. I'll follow the directions about shielding then. Yeah, do that. Yeah. Absolutely. Linda, you're in Minnesota. Okay. Let's just ask if it's going to be in your part of Minnesota. So for Linda, the happening on the 18th, will it affect the area where Linda lives? I get a big yes on that, Linda. So be prepared. Have your water, have your supplies. No panic, no fear. Your angels have got you. They'll be there to support you. But then you do, of course, the practical things that you need to do on the third dimensional level. That's the important thing. Okay. You are welcome, Susan. All right. So we're after 9, you guys. And I promised David I'd be out of here by 9. So we should probably wrap. Thank you all for being here. It was phenomenal. I'm always so glad to see you. And if you're not on my mailing list, go to akashaunleashed.com/VIP, get on that mailing list because I want to send you the Zoom link so that we can Zoom together on the 3rd Saturday where we get together. I can see your faces and we can answer whatever questions you have. So that's what's coming up on the 3rd Saturday. If I don't see you before and you're celebrating, have a fabulous Thanksgiving. Love and blessings to everybody. And that meditation book will be out hopefully next week, but stay tuned. All right. Bye, everybody.